brothers and sisters, it was kind of being a little rushed there, so just maybe 1 or 2 more minutes. So I was talking about charity. So first of all, that in adoration, it's this moment where we get to practice the whole law of loving God above all things. When we're there in adoration, that's exactly what we're doing. We could be doing many other things, but we've chosen just to come and love God himself. And then it's not only love of God. We know that the New Testament is love one another as I have loved you, or that this is the law, to love God with all your heart and to love your neighbor as yourself. And so in adoration, we come to the Lord himself to intercede, to pray for other people, and that's an exercise of perfect charity. So some people say you're praying, much better to go and give food to the poor and etc., etc. Well, we must do these things in life, obviously, but people do not realize that the power of prayer, the true gift that we give to people, better than any human food, better than any human clothing. We clothe them with our prayers, with our grace. This is something real, brothers and sisters, and that this is something that we cannot take account. It takes great faith to believe this. So when people have little faith, they resort, and it's a temptation for all of us to resort just to human visible activities like social work and stuff, which are very important and part of the gospel. But it must be carried by an interior also reality that this is also true, that we can clothe people with grace, can affect their salvation by prayer. And in fact, somebody's soul to be saved is more important than anything else. And so that's why adoration is also a practice of this supreme virtue of charity. He also says that adoration is also a practice of piety. So piety is a gift of the Holy Spirit, which instills us to offer loving devotion to God as a child, to give to God what is his due. So it's that gift of the Holy Spirit that perfects the virtue of religion, which is the virtue that whereby we give to God what is his due, because he's our creator and our father, and that we have received everything as gifts. So our response is to give back to him everything that we can. But there's also, besides the gift of the Holy Spirit, piety, there's the virtue of piety. And this is in the soul. St. Thomas Aquinas would say the virtue of piety, he thinks of it in terms of parents in the country. You know, people to whom we owe our existence or dependence on. So that, you know, piety is also something that allows us to even live as good citizens, to give back to the country, to be obedient, in a way that is in keeping with faith and morals, to governments, etc., to be obedient, to our parents, to things that they've given us. But piety is well stretched out to God, that he's our Father and that we owe to him everything. So the virtue of piety allows us to be humble, allows us to give to God what is his due, and what is given to God is what he wants, is our whole heart, our whole selves. And so when we go to adoration, we give our whole selves. So it's an exercise of the virtue of piety in an extraordinary way. And he goes on and he says there's so many other virtues we practice when we go to adoration. Patience, for example. The suffering out of just being with the Lord from distractions, from temptations to go elsewhere. Shows great love. So adoration is something that perfects the human soul in many ways.